It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe, host and producer of The Legends. And in the house, I have my co host, DJ Dan Dan, and also a great surprise, the legendary Linda Clifford. How's everybody?
Hi, how are you?
I'm quite well.
Good.
So, Linda, I'm going to have my co host ask you and start off the show. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, first, Linda, it's so good to see you.
Good to
And
see you.
as a longtime fan, as someone who's played your music over the years, and now to finally meet you up close in person.
Wow.
Yes, if my friends could see me now.
All right now. All right. It's nice
Well,
to meet you too.
well, Linda, my first question is this. I mean, you really were a pioneer when all is said and done. You were the first African American to win Miss New York State. And what I'd like to know is what were the keys to that success, especially in those days? And did that carry forward in your career?
Well, it's true that happened. Also, one of the things that came out of that, I mean, of course, that was something that I put on my resume. It was not the happiest time in my life because at that time, racial issues, things that we're still going through today, unfortunately, um, were a big part of any pageant. And so, there were threats to my family and all sorts of crazy things, but I did use it on my resume. It did open some doors for me. So I'm very grateful for that.
Mhm.
So, Linda, let's talk about your relationship with Curtis Mayfield. How did that
Okay.
actually occur?
Well, Curtis, it's so funny because I've been living in Chicago for quite some time now, and traveling around on the road, and I settled here, and I was working at the Playboy Club, and I thought, well, how long can I be working these clubs till 4 o'clock in the morning and
Hmm.
getting up with a baby at 7? And trying to function and do everything that every mom out there, mom and dad, that what you have to do. And I said, I've got to get myself a record deal. And someone told me that there was a record company in Chicago called Curtom. I said, well, I'm going to Curtom. And I got all dressed up and got in a cab. I was big time. And so I showed up and, acted like I was somebody and they
Hmm.
believed I was. So they they took me up to the office and I met Curtis's partner and president of the company. And I invited them to come and see me perform at the Playboy Club. And they actually showed up a few days later. And I guess within 2 weeks I had a contract.
Hmm.
Well, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
You know what? It's phenomenal, but it was really bold. When I think about it now, I'm like, girl, you had nerve just going up in somebody's office, like, hey, but I did, and
You went up there with some runaway love, huh?
I went up there with some attitude. I'm like, hey, y'all need to come and hear me, okay? And they did.
So, Linda, tell the viewers how did you actually? Let's talk about your first single. Tell the viewers what was your first single that you ever recorded.
Oh dear Lord, I don't even know if I remember. Probably. Wait a second. Let me think. The very I think it was like in 1962 or something.
Okay,
Um, Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, which was on a local uh, label out of New York.
okay.
I was still living in Brooklyn at the time, and I was a teenager. and of course didn't know nothing about the studio or what I was doing, but I went in, they gave me a song and I went in and I sang it, so that was probably, I think that was the very first recording. And then of course everything changed once I got with Tom, and Curtis was starting to write for me and
Right.
that kind of thing. So it was like night and day.
Okay. So you just did one genre. You just didn't just do R&B or disco. You did several types of music as well. Am I correct?
I did. In the very beginning, I studied dance for a long time. And
Okay.
not because I was a great dancer. My kids still laugh at me. They go, "Look at mom. She thinks she can dance." But my parents put me in school for dance because I was so clumsy. I was always falling down. They said, "We need to help this girl."
Okay.
So I studied dance, and so I was very much into Broadway and the whole Broadway scene. I was determined to be a Broadway actress. And I still to this day I love
Okay.
Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not meant to be. I was neither tall enough to be in a chorus line anywhere, and I went for every audition. I don't care what they asked for. If they asked for a comedian, I showed up. I was like, somebody gonna see me today.
Okay.
So I did that, and I remember auditioning for Sammy Davis Jr.'s Broadway show.
Right.
Was it Golden Boy? And Lola Falana was there. She
Okay.
did that strut across the stage.
Right.
I said, "I'm going home right now. I'm not even going to try it." So I skipped. I went from that to jazz, to R&B, to dance, funk, you name it. I had my toe in the door. I was trying different things, and I wanted to find what fit me best.
Okay. So Linda, tell the viewers, as you were coming up at a young, or I can say your youthful days, you're still
Yeah.
young, of course.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I'm just
right.
saying, but I'm just saying, at your early age, who actually influenced you as an artist, to actually stimulate you to be who you are today?
I'll tell you, I listened to all different types of music, and I loved so many singers. That Aretha, she just makes the hair on your body stand up when she sings.
Oh,
And
yes, she does.
always and forever, Aretha was number one. Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald. These are the people that I really listened to and loved. There's so many. It's hard to name. Dinah Washington.
Right.
Okay.
Real singers. I just love them all.
Okay. Dan, you care to interject?
Yeah. So the ladies that you named were just unbelievable. Their songs are still pertinent today. So, and also you followed in that vein. Of course, you put your own style on it. So my question to you is, how do you feel about today's music versus back in the day? And maybe do you think there's some standouts that can really sing today?
Yeah, obviously Shaka.
Okay.
You talk about ripping the roof off of something. Shaka is just ridiculous up there. But some people would say, well, she was back in the day. I got news for you. That heifer sang all the way down
Oh,
the
hear
line.
you.
So if it was back in the day or today, Shaka nails it. Okay, she is a singer. And a stylist. She's got a style. The minute you hear her, that's Shaka.
Okay.
So that's important too. But I think when I listen to a song, I want lyrics that are going to move me, are going to say something to me. And I'm going to tell you right now, Lizzo, that heifer right there, she writes some lyrics. Okay. She really does. And she writes for women, a lot for women, because, you know, there's a lot of things that women have gone through in the past and some still go through that might hold them back. And she gives them an avenue to pursue and ideas to pursue that bring them forward. And I appreciate that in a songwriter. I love it.
So, Linda, what we're going to do is that we're going to take a little break and come back to the second part of the show. So everybody just tune right back into the Legends with the legendary Linda Clifford.
All right.
Yay!
For the love of house,
the dynamic soul sounds of
for the love
DJ
of dance.
Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. The dynamic soul sounds of DJ Tyrone Lowe.
Again. Now we've been through this before. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Sick and tired of the same old thing over and over.
My heart and soul, and leaving me stuck with all my tears.
got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our.
Hey everybody, this is Tyrone Lowe. We're back in the house of the legends with my co-host DJ Dan Dan and the fabulous Linda Clifford. Hey
Hi.
Linda,
Hey.
let me
I'm
ask you a
hanging with y'all.
question. You
Okay.
know, now you know they have a lot of divas out there right now. You know, and
That's a
if you had to pick a
overused
diva to
word.
sing "Runaway Love" all over again, what would be your options?
Oh Lord, have mercy. Um, wow. You know, I obviously never thought about that. So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard because it's such a personal song. I don't know who I would contact to do that. I mean, it would have to be somebody with a lot of life experience, personality, I think. Do you have any suggestions?
Okay, DJ Dan Dan.
I'm
What you
thinking.
think? Yeah, it's a
Okay,
hard. That's a
let's
tough one.
see. Who could do that song?
Okay, what you want? You want to interject?
You know who probably could adapt on that song?
Tina Turner.
Um, Lady Alma.
Really?
Lady, Lady Alma. Check for Lady Alma.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because she has a jazz background, R&B, some similar, some things. Plus, I've seen her perform live, and she's an entertainer. And I believe that somehow she can make it work. Now, certainly she wouldn't do what you do, but I think that if you had to pick somebody, she might be a good choice. But look her up,
I
Lady Alma.
definitely will. I will. I'll check
Yeah.
into that.
Yes.
Because I'm glad you brought that up, the fact that she is an entertainer, because a lot of times, especially with the young artists that I see coming up, and I don't mean to, I'm certainly not saying this to put anybody down. It's a problem, I think, for them because there are not a lot of venues out there like there used to be, where you could go and practice your skill and build, get yourself to where you really want to be to go out to perform.
Hmm.
Back in the day, there was a club on every corner. You could go in and do songs and learn how to perform, so
Mm-hmm.
that's not happening so much anymore. So it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Linda, you've been around for a very long time, and
Okay.
I always, well, I didn't mean to be so exclamatory, but we'll take it into an interrogative mode, okay?
No, okay,
Nah,
okay.
but what I'm trying to say is that, due to your experience
Yeah.
in actually coming up in the music industry, um, and there's a lot of newcomers coming up in the craft right now. And through
Hmm.
your experience, can you give them some type of suggestions as far as what's going on and what they should actually do, or what type of avenues they should take?
Absolutely. I would love to see young people be more mindful of the business end
Mm.
of this. This is they don't call it show business for nothing.
Mm.
And when you start out and you think you got your first big break, you're so excited that a lot of times you just be signing papers and yeah, I'm with this company. Let me tell you something about them companies. I, Dan, you know what I'm getting ready to say because I went, I've been through that, and
Mm.
for instance, Runaway Love. If you look on the back of that, it says written by. They don't say Linda Clifford.
Mm.
Okay, it's got somebody else's name, but I wrote that song about my ex-husband.
Wow.
Okay,
Isn't that
Oh.
something?
so
Hmm.
so, and then the follow-up, "Don't Give It Up." I also did. I wrote that as
Mm.
well, but you don't see my name on any of that.
Wow.
So, you have to. know more about the business end of things before you sign anything. If you write, that's a blessing. That is a true blessing if you can write for yourself. But
Mhm.
it's only a blessing if you go take the right steps to get your stuff, get your own company established for your publishing, because they will take your publishing, they will take your royalties.
Mhm.
All of that is so important for you to know, and you know how to present yourself. I mean, people are like, oh, you know, this is okay, I'll be fine, this is fine. No, okay is not good enough.
Okay.
First impressions are huge.
Hmm.
Okay. And these are, I mean, they sound like little petty things, but I'm telling you, they
Right.
mean a lot, especially in this business, because a lot of times, you know, you go to a concert, people hear with their eyes. Okay. They're looking at you up on that stage, they're looking at you.
Right.
And what you present is what they're going to remember. And you have to be sure to
Hmm.
present yourself the way you want to be remembered all the time.
Okay.
Interesting.
So
So,
Linda,
yeah.
yeah. So Linda, let's take it to another level.
Oh,
Let's talk
Lord.
about your acting debuts.
Oh, God.
You were like in several movies, and let's talk about one in the role that you had to actually play, and how did you actually prepare for that role?
Um, well, I think my biggest role was playing a corpse. So there was not a lot of preparation.
Okay.
Just lay there and be dead. Okay. You just I was in I think this was probably the third film that I did, which was The Boston Strangler.
Okay.
And he actually murdered one African American girl. So, I mean, you're under a sheet, you're laying there, and the whole thing is don't breathe. So the camera's
Wow.
on you, don't breathe. Okay, good, I got it. So that was my preparation. Um, and then, of course, you know, I had like little bit parts, and Rosemary's Baby. I was in that, and I was a nurse at a hospital. So there was a lot of that going on. But, you know, to put on, at that time, nurses wore those little white caps. You remember
Sure.
those?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And dresses with white stockings and white shoes. So there I was, you know.
Okay.
But that was kind of fun. But I realized when I was doing those films that this was not where I wanted to be. I wanted to sing. You know, you can't sing in a murder mystery. So so I thought, well, you know, I'll do these little movies that I have lined up, and then I'm going to move on and try to get my singing thing happening. So that's what
Okay.
I did.
Any shout outs to anyone?
Oh my gosh, shout outs to all my family and my friends in Brooklyn, New York. I miss y'all so much. I miss New York. I want to be there. You know, that's my home. I come from Bedford-Stuy,
Okay.
Bed-Stuy, you know, Halsey Street,
All right.
between Marcy and Tompkins.
I know
All
exactly
right.
where it's at. I know exactly
Yes.
where it's at.
Okay. So that's where I grew up.
Mhm.
And, you know, I miss all of them terribly. And as soon as this mess is over that we're dealing with, I'm going to be back in New York. I will see you soon.
Okay. Dan, you want to interject?
Yeah, I just was wondering, there's lessons, but tell us about some of the highlights of your career. Like, we all remember where we were when, let's say, 9/11 happened.
Mm.
But where were you? Do you remember where you were when the first time you heard your song on the radio? What was your reaction? That's I want take me there. I want to be sitting right next to you when this happened.
Okay. Here's what happened.
Okay.
So the record company calls me up and they say, your song is number one. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I hung up the phone. I'm like, I was scrubbing the floors in my house, scrubbing my kitchen floor on my hands and knees, washing the floor. Phone rings. President of the company. Your song is number one. Yeah, right. Bye. Calls back. He says, go get a Billboard magazine if you don't believe me. And I, you know, at the time, computers were not the thing. I couldn't just go online and look it up. I had to get dressed, go to the stove, and get a Billboard magazine and open it up, and there it was. And I literally freaked out. I'm dancing all the way back into my apartment. Then, and mind you, I still had not heard it on the radio. So, they're making arrangements for a tour, and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And I'm thinking, wow, we're going on the road. It's going to be so cool. Road is hard. Road is hard, I just want to say.
Mhm.
And we're in, we had, what do you call those big bus things? And we're in there and the radio's on it. All of a sudden, Runaway Love came on the radio. And the first couple of notes, I'm like, I know that song. I know that song. And then I heard, hey, baby, where you going? I said, oh, Lord, that's me. That's me. Oh, my gosh.
Well, Linda,
it's unreal.
Unfortunately, our time is up. But you know what? We thank you literally for being on my show, The Legends. And also, I thank you for my co-host, DJ Dan Dan.
Hi.
I thank you very much. And, I am quite flattered, because I remember when Runaway Love actually came to my existence because I was taught how to hustle from that song.
All right. Okay.
That and it was that and Mr. Magic, so it was either or. So when I heard either one of them, I was on the dance floor.
You knew you had to get out on the floor.
But I thank you very much, you guys, for coming to my show and really having a good time. And I hope that my viewers got a lot of information from you as well. And this is another T-Lo Video production. And my name is Tyrone Lowe. And stay tuned for another episode. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.